What's up, y'all? This is Jeffrey at Jeffery TV, coming to you live on Memorex. Default route, default location. Cable has been restored, probably sometime last night, about 1 o'clock, 1:30, 2 a.m., 1:30, something like that. Question may be, why was I up that late? That's the whole reason, or one of the reasons, why I'm out here now. Default route, default location, about 3 hours earlier than my current routine has been. I think I woke up at 6, but that don't sound right. I think I may woke up at 6, rolled over, went back to sleep till 7:30. Definitely laid in the bed in a while. Did a few emails, looked over my calendar, did some scrolling on Facebook, looked at some of my pictures, videos, whatever, and just basically enjoying the quiet time with myself. Just basically laying there, comfortable, the building's quiet, and just laying there, comfortable in my bed, in my space, enjoying it. Didn't smoke any Black & Milds, which we'll go into that more later. So I decided, hey, let me get up. The alternative was this, smoke. What we usually been doing was smoking a Black & Mild, 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning, getting that buzz, laying there for a while, then going back to sleep, and not getting up till 12:30 or something like that. Then going for my walk, because I really got nothing else to do anyway. And that's the whole point. Today is Monday. I got back home for my 3.5 to 4 weeks in Ohio last Tuesday. So I've been here 6 days. Tomorrow will be 7th day. And it's 9 days before I go back to work. So I said, let me get my ass up and start pushing or leaning towards getting back to my work schedule, my work sleeping habits, my work schedule, routine, timeline, or whatever. Because next Wednesday I go back. You imagine? It's been that long since I took off. I remember April 3rd, the day I didn't go back, when I went to the doctor's office and she gave me the note. I've been on April 3rd, May 3rd, June 3rd. I'm just saying, I don't know why. It's supposed to be 12 weeks. I don't think I got my full 12 weeks. Or whatever, I might look into that, if you think about it. April 3rd, May 3rd, June 3rd, July 3rd. It's like a week before or something. Like I'm missing a week, but it don't matter, I'm ready to go back. Well, I'm ready to go back, maybe a little bit overstated, but it's not. I'm pretty much ready to go back. I'm getting a little bit lazy. I really got nothing to do and just need to really get back on the grind. It's gonna feel good to get back on the grind. But I also say this, I was thinking, yeah, in my mind, I'm like, I gotta get myself together. It's almost time to go to work. I gotta get myself together. I'm definitely being overly dramatic, but that's what I do. I over-dramatize situation to increase the sense of urgency, at the least, or I might just be performing, I'm not sure. But the whole idea is, in my mind, I'm like, oh, I gotta get ready. Oh, I gotta get myself together. I'm so far behind. I look at my life, I'm pretty there. I'm handling my business. I'm not that far off. There's a couple things I need to do, but I got my eye on them. I could probably get them done today if I wanted to. No, I couldn't, because there's some stuff that's out of my hands. But, I can look into it. Today, what I want to do is basically get up, get up at 9:30. Get up I'm out walking at 9 o'clock, as opposed to 12:30, 1 o'clock. That's step one. And then step two would be not to smoke any Black and Milds until this evening. Because I'm telling you, God, I don't like the way Black and Milds make you feel. It's like a love-hate relationship. I can't wait to hit that first one though. I can't wait to smoke them. And once I start, ugh. See, that's with me. It's all or nothing. I have a weak sense of moderation. And I'm looking forward to I can almost say that I'm really looking forward to go back to work just so I can stop smoking them damn Black and Milds, all day long. I'll wait till I get after work. As I get off work. Get off work at 7:50. Better believe by 7:53 I got one smoking. But having that said, it's a chance, I believe, a good chance even, that the Black and Milds are keeping my weight down. Do you know that today, Mr. Scale told me 202.8? What the hell is that? On a Monday, after I've been off all this time in Ohio, and all the food. I ate a whole pizza yesterday. It was a Ralph's store take and bake pizza from the deli. I love them. Take them home, throw them in the oven, 375, 15 minutes. He didn't have to be going that fast. He saw me walking, but I was running across the red light, so. Anyhow, I take that pizza home. Plus at Ralph's, I could do a bunch of other stuff. I got my salad, I got cucumber, I got tomatoes, I got mushrooms. I had coupons to get my salad dressing. So I'm kind of ready for the future. And that the future is eating salad and eating more sensible in the evenings after work and not, just indulging, not just eating the pizza in the middle of the day, knowing I don't have to do anything. And the internet was out yesterday. The internet didn't come on until 2 o'clock in the morning, like I said. So I'm watching antenna TV, bounce TV. I watched Girlfriend. My Three Sons was on. There's something called The Legend of Wyatt Earp. Dr. McCoy was in the episode. He was the villain in some kind of weird shell game, something weird. Just watching a bunch of over-the-air TV. There's a lot of channels. So I got a digital antenna, and for me to make it work, I just gotta stretch. I bought a really good one. I paid like $50 because I needed to have a good one for NFL games. Catch all the NFL games that I didn't get with my subscription to NFL Sunday Ticket, which might be $400 this year if I can't get the student discount. They gave me a student discount last year, so we'll see how it goes. But so it had the digital antenna stretched across the room, watching the riots, of course. Local LA TV, the riots is pretty much live on every channel, which was good. Get a perspective of what's going on down there. Everything's slanted from the right, left. It's basically anti-Trump. Trump shouldn't be doing this. We love our immigrants. Blah, 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 blah. Why is he doing that? He's Satan. This is not love. We need to love, all that bullshit. It's too much. And I'm like, so what you have protests? You gotta have 80 million people protest. What difference does it make? The idea of a protest is to bring attention to your cause. Well, the attention is there already. Protesters don't do nothing but make yourself feel better, make you feel like you're doing something. Especially President Trump, he ain't gonna change because of that. If there's anything you should know about that man, he gonna dig in more. If there's anything you should know, he gonna dig in more. The more you protest, the harder he gonna go. And believe me, he got way more power than you do. He got way, way, way more power than you do. And I mean the military. He said, and his president, he sent the people in to protect the police. And I mean, I don't understand finger protests. It's nice. No, it's not even nice. I can't even say it's nice anymore. You know, it was a time when I thought it was. I was part of the Occupy movement, damn it. I was down there. I wasn't part of it. I was down there a lot. You know, I would go down there and hang out. And I filmed a lot of it. And I was sympathetic towards it. I was sympathetic towards something. I'm not sure what it was, to be honest with you. And then the longer I was in there, the more whining and irrational thought that I had. There was a lot of things that these people were saying and believed that I just didn't see in real life. I'm like, oh, what are you talking about? The police are over there eating donuts. They're not attacking you. You're infringing on my space. Oh my God, that makes me so uncomfortable. Oh, I feel everything was feelings and ultra sensitive. And I started to realize these is a bunch of disenfranchised people, mostly white, young, probably Bohemians, probably a bunch of drug use, there's no doubt about that, or just off the radar kind of people who trying to get theirs, you know. They're trying to get theirs and have theirs. And if they could get the government to flip some of that, I ain't mad at them. If they can get the government to help them out and pay for some of this or pay for some of that, I'm not mad at them at all. Or to have someone to blame. I think that's more like what it is. To have someone to blame. They can say it's the system, it's the man, you know, it's this, it's that. It's these people trying to keep us down. You know, system's broke, tear it down, blah, 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 blah. And that's basically a lot of what I was hearing. And then I saw the people who were doing it and hearing where they're coming from and their arguments. You know, some of them were good. Some of them were very passionate, more passionate than logical. And some of them you could tell were professionals. Some of those cats that came over there to do stuff, you can see that they did this before. You know, this is what they was doing. But anyway, that's the whole thing behind that. So I'm watching the riots and carrying baskets on and talk about protecting our immigrant brothers and sisters who's scared to go to church now, who's scared to go to this because they might get swept up in a raid. Well, I'm like, if your paper's in order, the fuck you worried about? But, you know, they talk about the immigrant labor, undocumented labor, how LA relies on it. And a lot of people may or may not make it, you know, without that labor. And I'm sure that a lot of those people are probably in Karen Bass's ear, Karen Bass is the mayor, saying, hey, look, you know, we've been doing this for too long. You know, we're in now. We need these people. And, you know, Trump may or may not be, you know, following the law or what the people want from the mandate of his election. He may or may not be. And I think in California may be defying his order. And that's a whole other thing. You know, if they're defying an order or directive from the president, that's a whole other thing. But, you know, how it goes. So that's why I'm out here. It's probably about 10 o'clock now, I guess, or so. I would still be in the bed asleep. Wake up all groggy and head feeling weird. So the idea today, you know, is to get up. You know, I start doing little stuff around the house. You know how you do little stuff that kind of really don't matter, but it does. You know, just little stuff. Like putting this here, put that there, you know, wrapping that up, putting that back. You know, make sure all the dishes are out of the sink. This, you know, this little stuff to get momentum. You know, so I got out. I could say that I got out before it got too hot, but that don't matter. It mean nothing to me. Heat don't mean nothing to me. And I'm thinking what I'm doing is, hopefully, or maybe, I'll get back probably about 11. I used to get home about 11 or so. If, you know, if I'm still on the track and routine that I've done when I was working. I get home at 11, don't gotta punch it until 12. Give myself an hour to do about 20 minutes worth of stuff. Sit down with my breakfast. Which, did I say I'm cutting the portions down on my breakfast? I slippery sloped into eating way too much. It felt good though. I still reached over and filling my stomach up way too much. Yesterday, I said, all right. I slept till 12:30, 1 o'clock, whatever. Got out of bed, did my walk late. So I need to eat, so I need to put something in my stomach after I came back from my walk. I came out and walk, I'm all dehydrated, sweating, you know, et cetera, et cetera. I need some water, something. I can't drink water until I eat. So I said, I gotta put something in my stomach, even before I go get some food. Even if I was to go to Little Caesars and get a pizza, I gotta eat before I do that, because that's how far I pushed myself. It was like 3 o'clock and I hadn't eaten anything, you know, since the night before or whatever, which was probably less than 12 hours, because pretty sure I had cookies and stuff in the bed at 3 a.m. But that's neither here nor there. But actually it is there and here. Because, again, I woke up 202.8 this morning. And if I, you know, I was 199 yesterday. I got to weigh in at 199 at some point yesterday, probably after I was all dehydrated and pissed out, bowel movement. I mean, my body was just empty. It's an anomaly weight. That 199 probably wasn't real. But it's an indication of trend. And that trend indicates that, you know, my weight is going down. So I just ate a little bit, like a real tiny bit, like so much, like it's kind of like on the stove. When they said low, people say simmer on low. To me, that was off. My low was almost a high. My low was definitely above a medium. And I didn't realize that until when they said low, they mean low. I'm like, oh. So I turned it down basically to what it to me was like off. And cooking food like that, I realized that, you know, the degree of what low meant. And I think it may be something like that with my portions. Because I got a portion of grits and a sausage, probably not even a half an inch of kielbasa. Probably less than a half an inch, and that's unheard of. Usually I'm eating 2.5 inches. You know, I like the Polish kielbasa, you know, the Hillshire or Kmart brand or Giant Eagle. I like the Polish kielbasa. Throw it in there, and I throw it in the air fryer. And I've been air frying my food too much. I was cutting it in half. I was like 400 for 20 minutes. My tater tots, of course, they come out crunchy and hard, and it's not horrible after I put in, you know, a bunch of hot sauce and put them in my giant sour cream container and close it and let them steam up, you know, and kind of moisten up and stuff. But I started putting my tater tots and french fries and cooking my kielbasa at like almost half. And it's better, it's juicy. The other day I had a it was almost like a rare hamburger. I had a hamburger patty. I put it in the air fryer, and it was damn near, it was still red and juicy in the middle. It was good. It was a whole totally different thing, because I've been probably burning stuff up. So I'm going moderation on that. And then also, like I said, with the kielbasa I ate probably like maybe a half an inch. You know, the kielbasa is about an inch and a half thick or whatever. That's about a half an inch. Where else I've been easily eating 2.5, 3 inches for breakfast. And then probably about a half a cup of grits, cooked grits. Yeah, probably about a half a cup of good grits. I broke that down yesterday. I just said, okay, I only need a little bit. I only need a little bit because I'm just, you know, going to the store. I'm gonna come back and eat in maybe a half hour or so. You know, so I didn't want to, so I just took a little bit. It was okay. I ate a little bit. It was done before I started. I wasn't used to that. There was no gratification of chewing and eating. There was none of that. It was just like, boom, boom. And I'm licking the plate. And the test was, I drank water after that, because I'm still thirsty. Still thirsty as hell. Because I'm after walking and not eating, you know, drinking anything all night, all day. So when I drink on an empty stomach, if I do it wrong, that shit comes right back up. And most of the time it still be cold. So I drank a couple sips. It was so good. And I don't want to go, you know, and I want to so bad. I took it slow, and I survived. Was able to get out and go to the grocery store, you know, feeling pretty good. Singing, dancing to myself, you know, feeling lively. So I'm gonna cut my portions down, just get back ready to go back. Go back with a vengeance. Not with a vengeance, but you know, ready to kick some ass and do what I gotta do, at least for the next 2 years, till I turn 65 and get Medicare. And the option of retiring is really on the table. I mean, I can retire now, but 65 when I get Medicare, that's when that's when the clock really starts ticking. And so, what was that? Yeah. And so, what was I saying? What was I talking about? 65, keep working. Oh, go back to work. Strong, ready to knock out 7 years. 7 years, get that maximum. Social Security, delayed Social Security. It's called delayed. Don't say early retirement. Don't say retirement. It's delayed retirement. It's not full retirement. It's delayed retirement. It's more. Of course, they say a lot of people die between that age and that age. And my financial advisor even said, get your money now. All the money that you don't get may not add up to the extra money that you do get. Start taking the money early and get less. And all those years you're getting the less money still goes into what you're getting. You know, so he said you have to live longer to make as much, even though you're getting more. Ooh, I think I put that very well. But anyhow, so I want to be prepared for that, get ready for that. And, you know, I need to be around people. I need to be energized, I need to be motivated, you know. Not motivated, but you know, I'm a social dog. I'm a social being. I mean, there's no doubt about that. I need to be, you know, see people, interact with people. And just like I said, going to Weapon of Choice Friday, going out, being Jeffery in the LA funk crowd, and not even being Jeffery. I was getting energy from people I didn't even know. They don't even know me, you know? Cause it's my vibe and what I do. When I do what I do when I do. And you know, I somehow always end up front of the stage. Hyper Spice, my favorite song. I was like right there. Right smack in the, not in the middle, but right there, front stage. And the Mint was pretty full. There was some people in the Mint that came out, showed up. Norwood Fisher was on stage. Lonnie Marshall, of course. Audra Cunningham. I ain't seen Audra in 27 years. She said, I guess it's been 27 years. I was like, oh my God. You know, she looked a little older, but she still got that look. And I thought about her. I remember her and Pam at the Temple Bar. And Mark Ray was there. And he was playing a guitar riff during one song that was just killing. Solid, taking in there. You know, the same thing over and over, just killing it. And then the song said, I heard you back there, Baltimore Raven. I heard that Baltimore Raven back there. Elizabeth Lee, she like the woodwork. She's just like the woodwork now. So solid all the time. Just brings it every time. Just so warm and just engaging, and on that trombone and the parts she do be hitting. This little riff, during the song. Oh, it's just so good, so good. Double G was there on sax, the car, orchestra from days gone by. In fact, I even saw a person wearing a Dakar t-shirt. Who else was there? And Mark Cross, he was so far way off in the corner, and you know, he kind of quiet anyway. I think one time he was doing some talking. I think they did a show called We Are Black and White, or something. We Are Black and White or something like that. And it was like all the mixed racial Nutmeg Family. Rick Marshall, Lonnie Marshall, Pam, I think was in there. This was a bunch of them, all yellow, all looking the same complexion, looking like, I can't say they look Arab or Mexicans. They definitely, no, this was definitely light-skinned American, you know, that look, you know what they look like. But they did that. So Mark Cross, I think he was like more vocal during that, I can't remember. But he was off to the side. So, you know, just doing what he was doing on keys. Every now and then, he hears something on the keys, and I look up, oh, where'd that riff come from? You know, where'd that little tinkle, that little tickle come from? And then also, afterwards, talking to Elizabeth Lee, she was saying how good it was to hear Mark Cross and Audra sing together. And I didn't realize that, because I told Audra after the show, I said, it was good, I can hear your voice. You know, I'm used to going to shows where I can't hear the vocals. I can hear her singing, I don't want to say almost as loud as the lead singer, but as clear as the lead singer. Like she was singing lead. It wasn't like washed out or like toned down or whatever. She could just hear actually singing the background chorus. And I was like, that was so refreshing. And then Elizabeth Lee said, well, you know, well, I don't know if she said well, but no, it was good. She said it was good to hear Mark Cross and Audra sing together. And that's might have been when I was here, because they were in the band and Lamar Miles was there. He said, yeah, they were in a band called Optic Nerve. And I remember that band. It was corny as hell. I even wrote a review of them. They were just some of the corniest music. It was bland, it was blah. I can't remember what the music was, but I just remember how just utterly uninspiring or utterly mundane it was. You know, it's probably produced well, sounded good. It was just so bubblegum pop. It had no snap, no edge. Anyway, of course I wrote that. So, and to go out and just feeling that, you know, doing me, you know, I know how to walk in the building. It's like I was watching the Pee Wee Herman documentary. He said there's ways you know how to walk in a room and just steal the attention without doing anything. There's just ways you can move or gesture or do this or do that to where you could just grab the attention in the room, and I know how to do that. I know how to do that. You know, sometimes you just walk in slower than everything. You go slower than the pace of the room, or you do this or do that, or you know, you do something that in an empty space or a space that is unoccupied, you know, to get people's attention, whatever. Anyway, so I've been doing this for a long time. So public, you know, being in public is no big deal for me. You know, and it's probably, and I have to admit, I'm performing. I'm definitely doing, there's a tad of performance in there from my side of the stage. And I was thinking, maybe, what if, you know, what if the people on stage see me getting X amount of attention and feel some kind of way about that? How they see me out in the audience doing what I'm doing, and they on stage, not that I'm taking attention from them or upstaging them. I've definitely done that before. I can't deny that. I've definitely upstaged the band or something on stage before, definitely. There's no doubt about that. And I was thinking, well, maybe Mr. Clinton be thinking about that. Maybe Mr. Clinton be trying to, not outdo me, but kind of outdo me. You know, outdo me is the wrong word, might be the wrong way to put it, but because there's no doubt, and I can unashamedly say, I'm trying to outdo his ass. I don't give a damn if you created P-Funk. I don't give a damn, you know, if you know everybody from Sly Stone to Prince, everybody and all that. When it comes to P-Funk, you know, I'll stand toe-to-toe, face-to-face with anybody. It's just, and I ain't ashamed. I ain't ashamed because it's under the guise of the music and the philosophy. And to me, nobody owns that. Well, that may be a weird way to put it, but nobody owns that. And I'll stand there, he got his band behind him, 8,000 million watts of music and power, 50 years of experience. And I'm standing right there in front of him, face to face. What you gonna give me today? I know we done did this 200 goddamn times. We're gonna do it 201. And you better bring it just as good as you. I used to be that way. And in my mind, I am kind of thinking that way, even though I'm not as demonstrative about it. I'm like, you better bring it just as good as you did in 2002 or whenever it was when y'all was in your heyday. Even though I know it's changed and it's different. I have that expectation and I hold them responsible. That's one of the reasons why I say that, you know, me and Mr. Clinton cool, I'm sure, or maybe not, don't matter. But I need to be in the place I am to do and say and be what I am. I can't be any closer inside the organization. You know, I can't be inside the organization because Mr. Payne said something about how he noticed how he told a story about how he started coming off stage with the mic and actually watching the band and, you know, seeing it from the fans' perspective. And he tried to allude to he's seen the band more than anybody that way. I beg to differ. Number one, you're getting paid, you're on the clock. And I ain't even gonna go into the obligation. You know, you're there because you have to be there. I'm there, yes, I'm directly comparing it to me. I'm there because I want to be there. On my dime, I paid to be there. I can walk out anytime, I can leave anytime. But I don't really want to focus on that aspect. The aspect I really want to focus on is that you have responsibilities and duties, which could be a distraction to you watching the show, or to you taking in the show, to you even understanding the show. I'm just saying, your perspective, Mr. Payne, your perspective as being a spectator, a paid spectator then. See, I don't want to go to the pay part. It's not about the money. It's about the obligation. It's about your distraction. You got to be, you know, you got things to do. You got responsibilities where I can just go, and I'm comparing you to me, straight out, I'm comparing you to me. I can just go, my 200 plus shows, I could go and totally absorb what's going on, undistracted by any responsibilities or duties I have. So I get what you're saying, kinda, about seeing the band, but you ain't really seeing them. You ain't really seeing them. That's what I'm saying. You ain't really seeing them. You're participating. And that's not really seeing them. Though your point was cute. Your point was cute. I'm gonna splice this down and post. I'm gonna splice the funk part out and post it separate so people ain't got to listen to that. Anyway, so what I was saying was, you know, I'm standing there and I was thinking the other day, me and Mr. Clinton, face to face. I'm standing there with my hands on my hips, like I'm an NFL coach, watching my football team. Hi, hi. So I'm watching, you know, like I'm sitting there like a coach. All I need is a whistle and a hat. Well, I got the hat. All I need is like a whistle, and I'm standing there, you know, watching that team. I remember that time at Yoshi's. They played the Yoshi's every day for a week. And it was like a Wednesday show or something. They opened up the first show with nobody in there. It was like hardly nobody in there. And people was in there, were like sitting down in the back. So I'm standing there, my legs spread, arms folded, just waiting for it to happen. And this is able to it was just me and them. It was just like me and people. I think Natasha wasn't even there. Had gotten there yet, nobody knew me there. You know, there was no distraction. It was just like, none of the Funkcasters got there or anything. It was just like me and them. And they came out, and I can remember, you know, the whole band facing me. And I'm standing there facing the band, and it was like probably right after in fact, it was right after I got kicked off the list. It definitely was right after I got kicked off the list. Because I remember I had to scramble around to get a ticket, or something happened. I had to scramble around to get a ticket. And so I had to buy one, or something. And Glenn Grau helped me out, merch guy. Probably the best merch guy. Well, I ain't gonna say best because I know Slim Goody, but Slim Goody went around during my time. Glenn Grau was the merch guy that I, you know, came to know and love. He ain't been around in a while. But anyhow, yeah, so I'm just, what's I saying? Come down. I'm standing there, just me, and I got kicked off the list. And so I'm standing there, and I bought my own ticket. I hustled to get there, and they know how critical I was about the band, because the article I wrote went viral, so everybody read it. I was getting input behind the scenes, saying, you right. And I understood a lot of people couldn't go public with that. And I knew a lot of people were saying, you know, somebody had to say it, but I knew they couldn't go public. You know, of course, on the other side, I got a lot of, you know, oh, how can you say that? Blah, blah, you a hater. You wish you was, you know. I got some of that too. I'm gonna have to walk in the shade to keep the sun out, keep the phone out of the sun. Even though I got the brightness turned down, so it should be okay. Anyhow, and I get it. You know how people talk. People should talk. But I got kicked off the list. And as I was saying before, that's why I can't be part. For me to do what I really want to do and who I really want to be, as far as P-Funk goes, I can't be part of the organization. I can't be. And it could be even said, the closeness that I got, even after getting kicked off the list, but keeping my distance, I don't go backstage. Last time, Slim Goody made me go backstage. He's like, come on, man. He made me. He took me upstairs. I was like, because I got ego too. When I'm gonna go backstage and see them niggas for? Something like that, but not really, because you know I love them all. I talk to them all. You know, my guy. But it's a little something like that. You know, when I'm gonna go back there and see them for, they need to come see me. Well, that's going too far, but you know, it's something like that. Not to that really degree. But I got ego too. Shit, my name is Jeffrey Scott Mitchell. Y'all know that. So he drugged me up there. It was good to see everybody. First person I saw was Mr. Curry, and that made me feel good. Mr. Payne was there. You know, it was just good. It was just good. It was just good to go up there and see him. And that's like one of the few times, you know, that I went backstage. I don't go backstage because Mr. Curry brought me in. And he trained me up where they working. It's work. They back there working. Ain't nobody bullshitting back there. You know, they working. So you shouldn't be back there. You shouldn't be back there unless you're busy and doing something. So every time I was back there, very few times, I kicked it. Very few times, I kicked it. Or I get nervous and just go to the front and just get out of there. You know, plus I don't want to probably be talking to everybody. Because back then I wasn't as confident or experienced as I was now. I didn't have the swagger or relaxed, you know. And a little bit before that, you know, probably a lot before that. And maybe during that time, there was a time where one of them niggas could have said something that really hurt my feelings. And I've seen that happen to other people. I've seen that happen to other prominent P-Funk fans, that where somebody didn't leave them a ticket at the door or something like that, or they didn't get this, or the band didn't do that for them, and they pissed at the band. I'm like, I remember before I got kicked off the list, P-Funk started cracking down on the guest list. That was even before I got kicked off the list. So, and you know, things change. Things change. You know, venues started to get wise to that old P-Funk scam of getting everybody in. And to this day, is people that come to the shows expecting to get in free and all that. I've never done that. Maybe once or twice. But see, because even when I was on the list and getting in quote unquote free, I put in work. I put in a lot of work. Mr. Curry worked my fucking ass off. I put in work. I earned them stickers. And it was fair and that was cool. I was like, you know, works for me. Works for me. Just get me in, you know, get me on the list. You know, I'm putting out records for him. I'm doing this for him. You know, helping him do stuff with his computer. Kind of set up this, you know, just working with him. It was a fair exchange. Fair exchange ain't no robbery, so, you know. And then I remember Mr. Curry called me, "What the fuck did you do?" After I wrote that article, "What the fuck did you do?" Because I fucked up his good thing. You know, me and him had a good thing. And all of a sudden, that's that, you know. Me and him had a good thing. And all that was gone now. And I, you know, I had to step away. And it was time anyway. It was time for me to, you know, step away from We Funk West and pfunk1.com and pfunk and become Jeffery TV. It was time. It was time. And I remember making this video on YouTube when I was actually discussing that and how I felt about it, how it's gonna work, and how I needed to put everything in Jeffery TV. Everything should be Jeffery TV and not under a name that could be associated with anybody else or anything else. I want a complete, I don't know if autonomy is the word, but I want complete control. There's nothing you can say, this is Jeffery TV, kiss my fucking ass. You ain't got nothing to say about it. And I'm not saying that to any specific person. I'm not saying that to any specific person. I'm saying it in general, because nobody really, you know, hit me up that way. But I'm just saying in general that when working with other people and you do something, you're like, "Oh, this is bad, this is good." No, I don't want to put that out. No, I don't want to release that. No, that's not good enough. No, that's not how you do it. Just put it out now. You know, let history and let, you know, the viewership decide. It's news, you know, there's no, you know, no, it's not ready enough. No, it's not this enough, it's not that enough. And it's their stuff. They get to make the call. And that always rubbed me wrong. I never liked that, especially doing music. Be doing music with somebody, no, don't put it out. I don't want nobody to hear it. You know, I don't want that. See, with Jeffery TV, and I started learning how to do computers and music and cut everybody else out. That's the whole idea, was to cut everybody else out. Even got a vocal program now. I even got a program I had a couple programs to make vocals. I was programming synthetic vocals, damn it. And drum machine, drums, everything. I don't need nobody. And, you know, to put something out, and I can put it out when I want to. I remember that's, you know, I went from pfunk1, because even pfunk1.com, that's mine. You know, and I guess the crowning achievement for that was during Mr. Clinton's speech. No, I ain't forgot it. I still feel it. Might be over now, but I feel it still. When he said, and fans, like pfunk1. Because in my mind, some of the band, or a lot of the band, or people in the band, wouldn't call me pfunk1. They call me Jeffery. And it seemed deliberate. And I ain't mad. Because you gotta have haters. Who the fuck you think is pfunk1? He ain't number one nothing. Fuck him. I want some of that. That's right, that means you feel me. That means you hear me coming. Fuck him, he ain't pfunk1. He ain't pfunk nobody, you know. Because a lot of members didn't call me that. They called me Jeffery. And I noticed, and I didn't really care, but I did notice. And then when he called me pfunk1, that meant something to me. Whether it does or not, it meant something to me. He didn't say Jeffery. He said pfunk1. And I was like, oh. It's on my license plate. I've been with this fucking band since Mothership Connection. Moved to California, started start seeing them, feeling them. And I remember that Mr. Curry, me and Tally was hanging outside the Echo. It was like 2 hours after the show or something like that. Some ungodly time or hour after the show. We were still there, everybody was gone. And he was like, man, what's up with y'all? He said he used to see us at the show, you know. He said he would see me there 2 hours early and be staying, you know. No, he said, I see me there 2 hours early, front row, do my thing. After the show, I'm gone. You know, after the show was over, boom, I'm out of there. You know, not to be seen to the next show. Did that for like 10 years. You know, so I was getting noticed. You know, of course, I had the people wearing jersey, as Jesters had the fucking license plate. How could I not get noticed? Now looking back, you know, I got noticed, you know, from people on stage. And afterwards, I'm gone. You know, whoop. Because I didn't really have that much interest in, well, I didn't have that much, well, my sensitivity to the situation outweighed my interest. Because like I said, one of them niggas could have said something, and I don't mean one of them niggas, I'm just talking that way. Somebody in that band could have said something that really hurt my feelings or broke my heart back there. It meant too much to me. It just simply fucking meant too much to me. And you could probably say maybe I didn't trust them with it. Maybe I didn't trust the band members, you know, to have that. Then I protected myself. So I just go to the show and leave. My first backstage pass, Magic Wand Clip Sun, gave me my first backstage pass. It was at the Smoking Groove store, I do believe. I'm not even sure if I even used it. That's how not nervous or sensitive I was to it. Then one time I was leaving Vegas, I'm gonna tell the story again. I was leaving Vegas, the Vegas show at the Aladdin. I was leaving, and Mr. Payne come in. I'm like, hey, wasn't you supposed to be in there? Where was you? He's like, hey man, let me get $20 for the cab, I'll pay you back. And I just, you know, I gave him some money for the cab. For myself, I was thinking, you can move over somebody. Ain't no law against moving over. But he's probably saying, you on the wrong side, you move over. Yeah, it don't matter. And so Mr. Payne came in the Aladdin. I remember he came in, hey man, give me $20. I'm like, what? I'm like, what? I don't know you. Even though I done seen you for the last 20 years. I was like, And I did get a kind of, I went, these niggas. You know, you started hearing things about, you know, the stuff you hear about the band, this and that, about, you know, rock stars and all that. Yeah. So I gave him 20, he went and paid the cab, he took it back, so he said, come on. And I went back there, and I was standing there, and they were there. I was backstage. I think it was the Universal Amphitheater. Or, no, it was Aladdin. What the hell I'm talking about? What was Universal Amphitheater? What was Universal Amphitheater? Universal Amphitheater was something else. But it was at the Aladdin in Vegas for that one. Oh, when I got my first backstage pass, it was at the Universal Amphitheater Key Club. I think it's Smoking Groove store. But I remember standing there, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I just wanted to get out of there. I was like, I gotta get out of here. This is too much. This is too much. And talking to Mr. Curry over the years, because there was a time when I wasn't working and I was working with him. I was over his house every day. So we sit and talk, smoke, just chop it up, you know, everything from philosophy, music, you know. We'd even, you know, have a little quiz game, kind of battle of wits and battle of knowledge. You know, I try to show him I know a little something. And he would always just say, shut up, you don't know nothing. He wouldn't have to say that, but he'd just tell a story that made me go, damn. So I guess I was maybe prodding him on to tell deeper and deeper, better stories. But it was good, you know, all that. It was good. It was good. And so that's where, so to me to be me, I can't really be a part of this or that. I really can't be a part of this or that. And the LA maggots, you know, I'm an LA maggot, definitely. I'm this, I'm that. But I even keep my distance somewhat from that. Because it may be that I don't want to take on some responsibilities that I think I maybe should take on. Because there may be some things that only I can do. Or I have the capability of pulling off that nobody else does. And I might be letting that opportunity go by. And I think about that just about every day. And what was I saying? Keep my distance. Oh, and Jar Harris was there, slapback. And I was telling him, yeah, man, that Funk Lives Matter. This, He said, yeah, man. And I think I said, I wouldn't just say that. And he was like, I know. He was like, I know you wouldn't. He was like, so for what it is, I'm definitely recognized as at least being opinionated. And it seems that some people actually respect my opinion because it's not only because it may or may not be respected, but because of the feedback I get from it. Not that people be saying, oh, you're right, you're absolutely right, you're right. You can tell by the way that people are listening, or what I say. People are listening to what I say. They want to hear what I say, one way or the other. They want to hear what I want to say. You know, whether they agree or not, maybe they understand their position. Oh yeah, he just like Parliament. So for him to say Funkadelic is this or that doesn't faze me. You know, they could probably say, well, if people don't want to like it, it's probably more Parliament, more dancey, not as dark. You know, people started to figure that out. You know, started to put that together. I became, you know, that. So I definitely get, you know, my respect in the way things go. And that's good, that's good. And that's all I really wanted. And it took maybe years for me to get there. Hey, long time, keep it up. You know, it takes me a little while. It took me a long time to get to being who I am and what I am. And I've never really been a team player, let's face it. And I've never been a team player, let's face it. And for me to get, I believe for me to get to where I am and to be what I am, I absolutely love what I am, where I am, my position. I couldn't align too closely or become a part of any organization in the funk. You know, it's like one of the people I talked to was saying how they want to start like a promotion company or booking shows or promoting stuff. You know, and they figure their whole idea always been, for all these times I've known them, like 20, 10, 15 years, whatever. Maybe what? Yeah, about 14, 15 years or whatever, something like that. They always wanted to bring everybody together like one big giant kumbaya. Why can't we all get along? Why can't we? I was like, it just don't work that way. It just don't work that way. It's like this band likes this band respects that band. But no, that's their shit, and this is our shit. Don't put them together. No. And her idea was maybe having like one booking show, one booking company or producer or agent or manager, you know, if all the funk acts got together. No, that's not the way it works. It's just not the way it works. And there may or may not be, or have been, more dysfunction within the Parliament-Funkadelic family or circle. But that dysfunction served them well. It paid off. There was actually a return on investment on that, whatever quote unquote dysfunction, on how P-Funk handled things or the way things were done there, or this or that. It came out in the music. And some people even said, Mr. Clinton, that organized that confusion and manipulated it to get members to perform, maybe perform better than they would have without that. you know, struggle, whatever, quote unquote. Like, no, I was telling her no. I said, don't we, that utopian thing you've been talking about, it ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. And I'm thinking the first time you book this band and don't book that band, you got a problem. First thing you give a gig to this person and not that person, you got a problem. Well, why can't they just get along? Why can't they just, no, it just don't work that way. It just do not work that way. And when you kill it, to have that kind of mentality, you can't, you want to eat it all. You want to consume everybody. You want to be an animal. You want to be King Kong. I mean, to get to a certain level, you got to be a monster at some level. You got to be selfish and a monster. And that doesn't kind of play well with, you know, oh, everybody, let's get together, hold hands and help each other and, you know, make sure you eat, I eat, sharing. No. You got to have a little bit of ruthless energy by any means necessary, and nothing's going to fucking stop me. Because I remember one time, there was this guy at work, you know, I said, you know what the difference between, I was going to tell him, you know what the difference between you and me is? I could be working or this close to achieving something great or my lifelong goal. And you could too. But if somebody called you, a family member or whatever, needed help, you probably stop and help them. You probably stop what you're doing, put it on hold, and go help them. And I'm not that beast. I don't see myself doing that, at least not without some consultation and some struggle. And is there any other way we can do this? If I'm working on something, I'm focused, I'm just more selfish. Just some people just too so unselfish, they'll never accomplish anything. They'll never be great because they're just too unselfish. You don't get great on accident. You just don't happen to stumble upon being great. All the documentaries and biographies I watched, all those great men were fanatic about what they were doing. Men and women, they were fanatic. Everything was on hold. Marriage, wife, kids, family, whatever. Nothing mattered. The only thing mattered was achieving that thing that they was going after. They worked, you know, endlessly and tirelessly with focus. And you got to have that kind of will, that kind of energy, or that kind of focus. And that doesn't lead to, hey, let's all get together and form a conglomerate. No. No, it just don't work that way. So, I don't know why I went down that road, but it could be to do with Jeffery TV and having something in my name that I'm completely responsible for. Nobody can claim anything on it. Nobody can say this or that. You know, it's all mine. It's all mine. Anyhow, whew, this is good. How much time? How much time did I do? 58 minutes. 58 minutes. 58 minutes. So we did about an hour. I turned the resolution down to like 500.
I'm not weird. I know what the fuck I be seeing and asking and don't get no support.
People come out here to shed. People come out here to shed. That my baby mama and his mom. Anyway, so that's where I'm at. And I'm feeling my energy is different already. I feel my energy is different. You know, I'm a little bit more up or whatever. I've always been a morning person. I always did good in the morning. I used to be the one at work in my chair at 6 a.m. Get off at 2:30 or something like that. Then I switched to this 12 to 8. Schedule and body adjusted. And it just so happens that 12 to 8 corresponds with 3 to 11 in Ohio, which is perfect. Kinda. No, it's not actually. Cause no, 3 to 8, it's not bad. When I get off work no, it's bad because 3 to 11 kills the whole day. It's not good, but it could. No, and my daughter used to work those hours and now she don't, so it don't work at all now. So I guess that 3 to 11, 9 to 12, it don't kind of work at all. Probably get that adjusted next time, now that I think about it. Maybe I can work, I tried to ask them, can I work 6 to 2? Can I work 6 to 2:30 for 3 weeks? Get off at 5? Then I'd have to get up, it'd be 12, it'd be noon. It'd be the same here. I'd be on the same schedule as here if I was here, which, get up at 9, which would be 6 a.m. here. I have to make that adjustment. But anyway, you know what I'm saying, I believe. You know what I'm saying, I believe. So, not sure why I went down that road either, but because I'm up and feeling good. And hopefully, I'll go home, I'll keep the momentum going, I'll put a little something in my stomach, just a little bit, get dressed, and I'm thinking I need to do something, so I might go to Venice Beach. If I can get out of here by 11, get out at a certain time before traffic coming back. Not that it matters. I was even thinking to reward myself, I can look forward to getting a couple pieces of pizza on Venice Beach. That's what I used to do on my birthday. Every birthday I would go to Venice Beach, just kind of chill out there. This year I went to stadium tour, Acrisure Stadium, Pittsburgh Steelers, Heinz Field, Pittsburgh City Stadium, took a tour on my birthday. It was kind of cool. But I need to break out this laziness. I need to ease off of the Black and Miles. And I'm gonna do that June 25th for sure. But if I can wean myself off instead of going cold turkey, getting to the job, and my first day off, nicotine. Well, I picked a bad day to quit nicotine, remember Airplane? Well, I picked a bad day to quit snorting coke. So yeah, but the excitement and adrenaline from that day will get me through, I'm sure. So we'll see. But it's good to be up. Like I said, I get back, I'll get dressed, and I'll do this and do that. Maybe grab my laptop, take it with me, be able to do something in the car. Because I did want to do a couple mixes in the car, play with the instruments, see if I can, there's a certain sound that I like in music, and see if I can duplicate that sound or get that sound, how it sounds in the car. Then I can relate that to the headphones and et cetera, and then do it, anywhere. Once you get it related to the headphones, you can go ahead and cut it and do it anywhere. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes. But the whole thing is, I should set a time. No Black and Miles until 8 o'clock maybe. Maybe 8 p.m. That's when I get off work. That would be ideal. No Black and Miles until 8 p.m. Start that trend. See how I feel. See how much energy I have going through the day. And since I woke up early this morning, I should be going to bed early. So we'll see. I like the Venice Beach idea. And as long as I don't start smoking the Black and Miles and have my energy metabolism just spiral downward, I should be okay. Well, anyway, swinging on y'all. 2 times and carry the one. Divide away and carry the funk. Divide away and carry the one. Something like that. Any percent of you. Anyway, swinging on y'all 2 times. For me, for the funk. And for every elementary particle that has ever existed in any atom, in this or in any universe that ever was, is, or will be. The totality of it all, theory of universe. Hypothesis of all as one. My name is Jeffrey.